can't sleep. I know how that feels. Who has enough money to buy painkillers, but stays in a place like this? It smells as bad as it looks. Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings? What is this picture of Charles and Sarah Hawkins doing here? What happened here?
Someone has settled in here.
And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! Detective Pierce. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
Look around you. Someone has settled in here. Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it. It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene. Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? And open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose. God damn it. Her again. This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley. You've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why, you?
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
I thought I'd straightened you out, mister. I am disappointed, but we'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do. Well, here we are. Hawkins Mansion. The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
You're the one who looked after the Hawkins case.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
Your partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You managed to get something out of that bum? I'll end up asking you for advice.
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was slightly unhinged.
That's not far off the mark, I suppose. But kinda unfair at the same time. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember. Charles was like a son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family. So he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
Could he be a problem?
Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
I don't believe the fire is the only reason this house is in such a state.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
It's got nothing to do with Charles Hawkins' debts.
Ha! You've already begun to nose around it, would seem. So, since you already know it, the Hawkins family couldn't afford the upkeep of this house. It remains to be seen what they did with all their money. I wager it was Charles Hawkins' travels. Let's go up there. Unless you still have questions.
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
You stay here and keep an eye on things.
Okay, but don't get the impression that I'll leave you alone inside the mansion.
Jeepers! Poe's prophetic raven. I'll have to find another entrance. This entrance is still in use.
Whoa!
Whoa!
You are trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them! Dump them into the ocean!
You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe. Let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater. What do you think you're doing? So talk, and no baloney.
The police report describes a domestic accident, but Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule, and I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
The mansion isn't safe. You would break your neck as sure as you're trying my patience right now.
That's why you barricaded the entrance.
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked, and I make sure it stays that way.
No one lives in the mansion, and you don't take care of it anymore. If you have a good reason to be here, I'm listening.
There's vermin. I keep an eye out.
Vermin.
Yeah, that's it, vermin.
Right. This is what we're going to do. I go inside, and I promise that I'll hunt vermin. Okay with you?
I'm not sure.
If there's nothing else to fear, you can give me that key.
Right. Take the key and do what you have to do. Go on then, just to get rid of you.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion.
Piers, shall we enter? Now that you've finished your fun and games with Silas, we can perhaps...
You're right. Let's go.
What now?
Let's take a look inside.
I'm coming with you. There's no way I'll leave you alone in there without a watchful eye. Follow me. I know the place. Who left this light on?
The Last Supper of the Hawkins. What does this tell me? What kind of meat is this? This place is for the head of the family, Charles Hawkins. The boy was probably here. Smashed his plate on the floor. Sarah Hawkins' plate. Why did she leave it untouched? Something happened at this table. An argument?
Hey, Pierce. Daydreaming again?
Working, officer. This dinner table tells us a lot about the Hawkins family life.
Well, we don't have all day. The scene...
Boo! Boo! Bad stream.
What?
Sudden stop. Brandon's.
The fire is next door.
Sarah Hawkins painted herself with her son, Simon, ready to go somewhere, but without Charles.
But it was already too late for the Hawkins.
Let's see if I can find something the cops missed. The child's corpse left a trace. They had a fight. Why? Did it stop at the time of the fire? Was Charles Hawkins a heavy drinker? Did Sarah Hawkins lose one of her shoes? How? Did someone escape the fire? If the painting I found on the docks really came from here, how come it didn't burn? Blood. This lamp was thrown. This was no accident. This was a fight. Someone fell here. A desperate attempt to flee. And the boy.
So, Detective, what do you make of it?
Much of this evidence simply contradicts the investigation's findings.
Really? Tell me about it.
It would seem at least one person fled the crime scene.
What'd you say?
That mark on the door. Someone's hand slid down there. The left side has no mark. The door was open and that someone left.
For God's sake. I mean, if it's Charles or Sarah, they wouldn't have left their son.
They would rather die in the flames as a family instead of calling for help? I don't buy it.
Oh, yeah?
I was under the impression the fire started around midnight.
Yes, Silas banged on our door around 1 a.m. Poor devil ran so hard he was almost belching his lungs out.
This clock burned before 10 p.m.
That's impossible. What you imply? Silas never would have hurt the Hawkins family. Besides, Dr. Fuller confirmed the hour of death in his report. Your clock must have already have stopped.
Honestly, you don't find that suspicious?
That's troubling, I have to admit. But I trust Silas. And Dr. Fuller is an authoritative figure. The mainland folks are damned envious that he's here with us. A brilliant surgeon, and a friend of the family. I'm sure he took the matter to heart. So, excuse me if I value his opinion over yours.
So be it. Let's move on. I found a bottle of whiskey. Empty.
Well, that must have been a loss for you.
No glass. I suspect one of them drank heavily to calm down. Charles, most probably.
That's pretty thin. Who says that bottle hadn't been there for a while?
I firmly believe this fire was more than just an accident.
Huh. What's your theory?
I think the Hawkins couple got into a fight.
You sure of that?
There's only one way to be sure.
I just ask that you don't disturb anything. If Chief West found out about what we're doing, I'd be in serious trouble.
This door is locked. These bandages are covered in dried blood. But whose? The lyrics of the drunken sailor. A sea shanty. This door is blocked from the outside. An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818. Moby Dick, Melville's classic. The epic battle between man and whale. This piano is in disrepair. Looks like the Hawkins kept it more for decoration than for music. A book on the first inhabitants of the island. It seems they got here around the 14th century. Darkwater history. This place was settled back in 1692 by two families. That's a book on hunting whales, the island's staple diet last century. One of Sarah Hawkins' paintings. Her style sure is recognizable. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Another story about the mysteries of the deep. Greek mythology. Hecate, goddess of the dead, daughter of Tartarus, and mother of Scylla. What could Sarah have done to make this person threaten to call the police? Locked. The boys' room. A child's fort. From what threat was Simon protecting his world? Tom Sawyer, Mark Twain. Sarah must have read it to him before bed. Sleeping pills. Strong for an 11-year-old boy. What was wrong with this family? What nightmarish vision could have inspired them? Simon's troubles went beyond family problems. That kid saw something. Something terrified him. This door is locked. What will her room reveal about her? Barbiturates. Sarah Hawkins must have been extremely agitated resorting to such a treatment. Perfect. This ledger lists all of the paintings Sarah Hawkins sold. It seems the last one was given for free to a Francis Sanders. I wonder why. Despite what happened, they seem to have loved each other. Sarah Hawkins' agent was getting worried. Seems she wasn't giving any signs of life. Was Sarah Hawkins interested in the occult? What was she trying to achieve?
Bradley? Is that you? Is anyone there? You! Stop! Bradley, did you see which way he went?
Who? I didn't see anyone. I just heard some noise. Are you all right?
A man was hiding on the upper level. He ran when he saw me. He can't be far.
The lyrics of the drunken sailor. A
I'll
sea
cover
shanty.
you.
This door was closed earlier.
Where did he go?
It looks like an old seaway map.
They look like Celtic runes. Charles must have brought them back from one of his foreign trips.
Do you really think that your fugitive came in here? I don't see any way out.
This globe seems to have been part of some mechanism. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work. I must have missed something.
It looks like a freehand map of dark water. Certain areas have been highlighted. I wonder why.
The Scylla. It's the boat that was stranded at the entrance. This panel is movable.
Cogwheels. They must be linked to an opening mechanism. Probably a secret passage. I must find a way to activate the opening mechanism. Great. I managed to force the gears. It looks like I've triggered something.
Well done, Pierce.
I'd be better off not